back at the Day Sports podcast, and here we're back again to wrap up the week of sport that was, and joined again by Ben Strong and Charlie Williams. How are you, mate?
Good. I'm just
Good.
Chad's got some big head noise at the moment. We're not too sure what's wrong with him. He's usually filled with energy, and I think he's taken depressants this morning. Not antidepressants, depressants.
He's gone the other way on it.
Nah, I just woke up about 15 minutes ago.
Did you wake up at 11?
Oh,
You're supposed to be here at 10:30.
Yeah, I woke up at 10:30.
Just so everyone knows, we agreed to be here at 10:30, and these cunts walked through the door at about 5 to 11. Josh is staring balls deep at the run sheet.
I don't know what you enjoying that run sheet?
It's a good run.
It's a good run sheet.
It's a good run sheet, isn't it?
We'll get into it. Start with hypothetical. You know how we like hypotheticals on this channel. Would you rather watch one sport for the rest of your life and get paid $200K a year for it, but that sport changes yearly, so you can't follow it for the rest of your life, or not get paid and watch the sport you want, like how you are now?
Well, we'll just start off for the average viewer, if you don't know. To Arjun, 200K is pocket change.
Oh, God.
To the rest of Australia, that is a earned full-time salary at like an executive level job.
Okay.
So yeah, so we'll change it for other people. 10 grand. I'll keep it at 200 grand. If the sport isn't like the Bulgarian soccer league, then like if it's a sport like soccer, cricket, netball,
you have zero choice of what the sport is.
You don't get any choice. Like someone else chooses it every year, and it changes every year. But it can cycle back.
Like
so.
You got 80 years on Earth. Like you're gonna watch the same sport multiple times.
Yeah, but you'll be like 10 years in between. Like you watch soccer for one whole year, and then you won't know what happens for the next 10 years.
Do that, to be honest.
200 grand. You never have to work a day in your life, mate. You fucking started. It's a pretty simple one.
Yeah, but like, I would not do it. Like,
yeah, Johnny's like, I'll make that for my trust fund. My trust fund gets more interest than that.
Alright, okay. Nah, but like, life would be pretty boring, I reckon.
Life would be fucking...
Especially if it's like netball.
Question is, would you watch netball for an entire year? Probably not.
The economists out there, it's all about the opportunity cost. And
why are we talking opportunity cost? You brought up 3 times in 10 minutes.
Well, the thing is, yeah, it's big money, but like suicidal if you're watching one shitty sport for the whole year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. Like, imagine like, ping pong would be alright.
Ping pong would be alright.
No, it's like gymnastics. I'll just.
Oh yeah, but like, that's not a sport.
Oh no, nah. No. Yeah, I would say no. I would say no. No.
I would say yeah for 200 grand.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not like 10 grand, but
200. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Or you don't take, like, you work at your normal job, clock the 200 grand, and you put it all on the punt of that sport. Like, you watch for a whole year, by the end, surely you make some money.
Yeah. I mean, if you're working your normal job, then yeah, I'd reckon just put 200 grand on the punt. That'd be pretty good. Talking about the punt, we'll get to your segment soon. Talk about how disappointing you were last week. Anyway, give me a dose. First one, Penrith won't make the grand final.
From what we're saying, Penrith have clearly been the most dominant team in the NRL. They rained all over your fucking retarded parade of Manly's so good. They're clearly not.
They actually played pretty good. That was a good match.
They played shit in the first half. They were getting dig. It could have been like a 40-10 scoreline. No, I think Penrith will make the granny. Look, it's a hard call. Saying any team's going to make the grand final, like all you have to do is have one off week in those 4 weeks of finals, and you go on.
Season final.
Yeah, it's completely
Tara would
different.
know.
I would say like if you're taking a tip, if it's just a tip, then you'd say yeah, Penrith will be in the grand final.
Oh, as of now, they're making the granny for sure. Because they've been the best side.
Yeah, definitely been the best side.
But they've looked a lot more beatable than last season, I'd say. Like, Melbourne should have.
I don't know how you describe beatable when you're not losing. So
but like,
it's a bit hard.
Melbourne should have won if there wasn't some retard centres. And then I'd say Manly, like, they're not a great team, Manly. But
oh no! Last week you were fucking giving Tommy a rimmy the whole time.
He is.
Tommy's a 40-point turner and he's so fucking good.
He is a 40-point turner.
Tommy is rimmable. Like we saw we saw.
Joke's
last
come
time
back to
they played.
life.
We saw them last time.
Mate.
Lost by
Speak.
They lost by what?
40?
Yeah, pretty
40
much.
odd. Then they lose by 8. Debatable.
They lost by 12 to Panthers. Panthers were dominant. Like, I'm not going
No, it
to
was 26-18, wasn't it?
26-12.
26-12?
No, it was 28.
No,
It was
2016.
28-16.
Yeah, 2016.
It was a comfortable win. It was
Was it?
comfortable. They
I
scored
watching
one-
the match, like they only scored late
It was
on that
16-4 going into
one. And then it was 22-16 and when Manly was on a comeback there.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fairly comfortable victory for the Penrith Panthers. I think they're making the granny.
I think I said at the beginning of the season, I think the grand final will be the first game of the season, which was Bunnies and Storm, which we'll see this weekend. I think.
Nah.
Not a chance.
I think Penrith is just a bit of a level above at the moment.
I've said this before, it's Para and then the other team's just making up their numbers at the ground. That's...
Why
That's
are you
not-
on this?
No, well, why are we moving Para? Because they're not.
They're not. No. Okay, we'll move on. We'll move on. We're not getting into it.
No, don't give me a dose of that.
I'm going to give you a dose.
Don't
Don't give me that.
Second one. The Cats were robbed by the umpires.
No.
I mean,
Mate, that call, like, everyone needs to understand when you play footy, the 15-metre call isn't, like, it's supposedly objective. When you get taught it, it's objective, like 15 metres. You
Yeah.
know what 15 metres is? But if we are, like, if us three went outside and said, oh, go pinpoint on the grass, like, from where you said where 15 metres is, could you do it accurately? Probably
but I'd
not.
get closer. But it was 20. It was like
It
22.
was like 21.2
7,
metres.
yeah, or whatever.
He made the call when the ball was still in the air. Now, that is really common. Like, the ball is usually called in the air. But, like, if you want to fucking...
Chuck is trying to find what happened. Yeah,
If you want to harp on about it, like, there were other calls in the game. It was an extremely close game, and there were other calls, like Josh Kennedy... what's his name? Jake Lloyd got called for chopping the arms of Jordan Clark inside the 50. He goes back, slots it. He didn't chop the arms. We go back and look at it. Now, that's a bad call.
Yeah.
15 metres is just one of those things. If you want to look at it every weekend, there's probably 10 to 15 at least 15-metre calls that are wrong.
Like if the only reason why I wouldn't say they were robbed is if that call was made like 20 minutes into the game, no one's talking about it. Like
Exactly.
yeah, but it's only
that's the
because
same with everything.
yeah,
But
but
I don't think the call... Like, you got to just back the call.
yeah, and also Cats did have some good fortune against the Lions a few weeks ago, so I think whatever comes around.
Strings and merry-go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. But there was another call that James Robon in the final seconds, the last 3 seconds, dived on the ball.
Yeah, and he didn't.
He
was
was
not.
like a fair call. Like,
Yeah.
no, that was the right decision. The siren goes, the umpire hasn't had time to call it. You can't call it. So
Yeah.
James Robon, like, essentially made like the play of the game.
Yeah,
really.
it was a high IQ play from him.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Chuck, any input on that one?
Swannies look good at home.
That's next one. bit of a light-hearted one. Or
It wasn't lighthearted for this man.
no, it was not.
Tied up and right.
Give me those. The robbers were actually meant to take Shane Warne, but got McGill mixed up instead. Or McGill owes some drug money.
I'm gonna be borderline. Rumours swirling around that McGill is balls deep in drug debt, mate.
Well, wasn't he was like held for ransom or something.
Yeah,
So something's going
And
on.
apparently, like he only came out a week later after he got held up. So he's clearly like they've clearly beat him up very good because he's a bit scared.
But something surfaced that someone involved was Stuart McGill's partner's brother. That is just
It's actually quite funny.
that ties back to last week's potty about Dildo Brown. Your daughter. Are you happy if Stuart McGill's ruining your sister?
He's clearly not happy.
Yeah, I think McGill's balls deep in heroin at the moment as we speak.
Yeah, he's got to be doing some dodgy stuff to get tied up. Or
But that was my favourite call that they got Warnie and McGill mixed up.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
He's in some drug money for sure. Last one on the Give Me a Dose section. Ricky Stewart has lost the dressing room.
Yeah.
It looks that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. We talked about it last week. Raiders were on a downward spiral,
Yeah.
and they'll lose again. Josh Hodgson 2 weeks ago stepped down as captain, and they didn't publicly announce it either.
Yeah.
Swept it under the rug.
Yeah. They what?
Joe
calf injury or
Tapani's
whatever.
miso steps out of line being fucking
He's
just,
gone.
just
Yeah.
a kook. Like
Yeah.
I have no anyone that wants to like anyone's a professional sports partner should not get involved in any of this
Oh
shit.
yeah, 100%.
Like, it's not like he's being done dirty by the club. He's on the bench.
There's
Bro,
so
he's
much
fucking
worse.
playing, you
Yeah.
dumb fucking.
Well, it did get dropped one game.
Yeah, for one,
Yeah, one
like,
game.
because he's a player, mate. That happens in every level of sport. Like you get dropped.
Yeah, but it's more like how Ricky's using his bench for something like.
Yeah, he's on the bench for 50 minutes, just like a lot of other players in the NRL.
Yeah.
On the bench.
Mate, I don't
What's
think.
wrong with that? I don't have a problem.
I think it's more of a sign with Joshy Hodgson
Yeah, Joshy Hodgson.
like pulling out of.
Captaincy. It's not a good
Pulling out of
look.
captaincy.
It's not a good look.
No.
And when you're already in like the space that they are, the Raiders now, I think they almost go in the conversation of are they a top 8 side? With how
they're
poor
borderline.
they've been. They are borderline. They're going to probably be the team that gets the away final from the bottom 8.
It used to be sort of the big 6 teams that you could just guarantee they're in the 6, but now I think Raiders.
But
are
see,
sort of dropping
they were guaranteed top 4 like the last
yeah,
3
the last few
years.
years. Yeah.
They were playing so well. I'm just, and then comes out George Williams wants to go home as well.
But I think that sort of happens when
Why?
you're sort of,
I still.
That's the.
Is he living here by himself?
yeah, I think so, but I think it's like family used to like travel over, but obviously they can't.
That's the downside of importing overseas players.
But it shouldn't be a
Raiders do it with
downside though.
all the
Like
pommies.
you're a fucking adult, mate. Like
Yeah.
you're moving there for work. It's very common. Like can you be that? Like everyone's had a shit year. Like
Yeah.
you're being
like-
paid big cash. Just go.
Yeah, I think when it comes to professional sport, like you get paid big bucks for a reason. Like if you like, you got to get over stuff like homesickness.
You can't. Yeah, you can't just say like, oh, I want to go home.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, mate, like you can't just drop. You can't just in the middle. Like if you're on a fucking. If you're in a team working somewhere else, you can't just say, "Oh no, I need to go home for like 4 months."
Yeah.
See the
To be
family.
fair, he is living in Canberra.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking new hypothetical. Canberra or the UK? It's a tough one. Toss the coin. Both fucking miserable.
Canberra's a shithole.
I'd rather live in war-torn Somalia than either of those places.
Yeah, sure.
Oh
if you're
no,
like-
UK's alright.
If you're looking in from the NRL from the UK and you're like, what club would I play for? You're not going. I'm living in Canberra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
It's
can't
a bit
find
questionable.
that.
Like
Yeah,
people
yeah,
say,
yeah.
Melbourne's got four seasons in a day.
That is true.
UK just doesn't leave its one season of
Yeah,
fucking
it's-
winter.
it gets real
It's
dark.
shit.
Oh,
Yeah, the one season
in
is
December?
Yeah.
sunset at like 1:30. I'm like, what is doing it right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when Johnny was staying in his 6-star hotel with ensuite and butlers.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened in this podcast. I'm just getting ribbed for no reason. Yeah. That was good. Good. Give me a dose. He's also dressing room.
Yeah, I think they're a bit fucked. Yeah, definitely. We'll talk about it a bit.
Oh yeah, give me a dose. Ricky Stewart has lost the dressing room.
Yeah, give me a dose, Yaz. We'll go over the Canberra Raiders a bit more in review preview.
In the review preview, indeed, and our favourite segment of the week, I think, Strongy Serve. What is your serve this week?
My serve, Chuck, the more you look at the time, just make it go
It doesn't
slower.
make
quicker.
you-
It's
No,
the
no, no,
same.
it's not multi up, you fuckwit.
Yeah,
Oh,
but-
fucking shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Strong serve. The Broncos aren't getting poached. Everyone's talked about it this week. Big players are leaving.
Yeah.
Like, all this is happening. The NRL's not doing enough to protect the Broncos from their talent. Like, people aren't getting enough good players through their own system.
Yeah.
Not wrong to a degree. Like, only 4 Victorian players have ever played for the Storm. The
Yeah.
4th debuted on the weekend.
Yeah.
So yes, there is a point to be made that some teams don't develop the pathways.
Yeah, but
Now,
I mean,
whether that's the club's fault or the NRL's fault, I sit on the side that's the NRL's fault. I don't think they do enough to develop grassroots players
oh yeah,
for these major teams. But like, fuck off. The CEO came out and said they're getting poached. Mate, shut the fuck up.
I mean,
like, you
in
shit.
the-
This is what happens
Yeah.
when you're not good.
Exactly. But in their glory days, Broncos were
But even when
poaching left, right, and centre.
Even
Like,
when you're shit though, like you can still get good players and you can still retain players if there's a vision from the coach and the board. Like
Yeah.
if there is a vision and this is set out like how you want to go, like you can retain good players. And we've seen it happen. And the Dogs is an example at the moment for next year at least.
Yeah.
That they've brought good players in because it seems that there is a vision there. There's a stable coach now and they've backed Trent Barrett. I don't think anyone actually really genuinely believes that Kevin Walters is a good coach. I just can't say like
yeah, no, like
you coach
Yeah.
Queensland, like you're coaching 17 of the best players in the NRL. Whether you win or lose, like, it has nothing to do with the coach.
Yeah.
The coach's job in that scenario, I think, is just to bring the team together.
Together, like Wayne Bennett did, I think, last year. Like, that's the sign of a great coach, when you can sort of take, like, I mean, let's be honest, that Queensland team was not a great team.
No, it wasn't, but it wasn't a fucking awful team like everyone made it out to be. It was good young players with a mix of like players that had been there for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a vision of the Broncos, and I think that's why players want to leave. Who blames them? If I was Xavier Coates, I'd be off the fucking Storm in a heartbeat. I'd take 200k less to beat the Storm than beat the Broncos.
To be fair, that's why I'm surprised by Tony Staggs signing for 4 years there.
Give me a dose. That is the worst career decision I've seen from a player in recent years.
Mate, for someone with so much potential, he's a New South Welshman.
Yeah, but 4 years is a long time. Like,
it's a 5-year deal.
yeah.
With an option in his
Yeah,
favour.
so, like, you say if you stay at a shit club, you're like, your monetary value goes down. But if it's 5 years, it's 5 years.
But I'm saying it's a shit deal because everyone else is leaving.
Yeah.
If everyone stays, then you know what? Not the worst decision. If you can all commit to staying there together. Fafita's gone, Dearden's gone, Coates is about to leave. Yeah. There's also rumours that Tessinu's going to leave because Tessinu's a starter. He's supposed to be this gun one, and he's not playing. So I think there's a lot of... there's going to be a lot of people that leave the Broncos. I'm very surprised that Tony Staggs is staying.
Yeah.
I get the feeling he hasn't got the best reputation. That was a bloke.
Really?
Yeah, I just get that vibe. Para pulled out of the deal after terminating Jennings' contract. So Jennings' contract is terminated. The money can be spent elsewhere, and they still opted out of Staggs.
But I saw somewhere that Cartwright, Papali'i, and some other bloke. Who was it? Some other one. There's like 3 decent guys that are on like 500k together, and they're playing good now. So
So obviously you want to spend the money there, but Nia Koru's not a centre. So
he's been playing alright, but like...
Wonga Blake, do you think Wonga Blake and Tommy Opacek are going to get Para premiership?
No.
I don't think so. I think it's like comparing the players that the Storm have had and used them centre as role players. I think Tommy Opacek has been playing well for how he's played the rest of his career, and like Wonga Blake hasn't really he's played in patches, but he was really good at the Panthers, I thought. Yeah. I thought it was gun time. I just don't think he's shown like the same form as he did at the Panthers.
No, he hasn't.
So I'm surprised that Para pulled the plug on the Tony Staggs deal.
Well, so we're chasing Dan Gagai. That's...
But who would you pick? Tony Staggs, Dan Gagai? I think that Tony Staggs is much more of a game winner than Dan Gagai is.
And youth as well, like...
Dan Gagai also is... going and playing the wing for Fergo, not play centre. So I'll be purchasing Dan Gagai to play centre because I think he's a gun centre.
Yeah, bit odd what they're doing up there at Brisbane.
Broncos is just a clusterfuck at the moment. Yeah, I think there's no way around it.
Not too sure what's going on there. Talk about clusterfuck. Chuck's Melty.
No, that wasn't a clusterfuck this time.
It was 50-50.
It's 50-50, and then. You'd like to think one of those...
Just remind the viewers what your multi was last week.
I believe it was Rabbits 1-12 and they won by 14.
Yeah.
With a penalty goal,
late,
minute left on the clock.
Yeah.
And 2 disallowed tries.
Oh shit, you were really close.
And then I went Manly at a line of plus 14.5.
And it won.
That got up.
So I'm a bit filthy, and it was $14 odds.
Your multi. What is it this week?
So this week I've gone for less value because I'm sick of losing. So I've done 2 head-to-heads and 1 at a line, and I've gone Manly to win over Warriors. I think that's pretty.
Yep. Which is
yeah.
I mean,
like it's not value, but it's a.
I'd be taking Manly at like a line of like plus 7.5 for more value personally. If you're gonna back Manly, I think they're gonna win convincingly.
Oh, you mean like
minus 7.5.
Yeah.
I think if Manly are gonna win, they're gonna win
big.
Not big, but it's not gonna be a close game.
Yeah, I don't think it's always gonna be Manly's game.
I'm flexible, but
I still think the Warriors can turn it up. The first half they had against against the Cowboys on the weekend.
we'll get to
Because
that,
both teams
yeah.
have been hot and cold.
Let
I
me just
thought.
fucking finish my multi-league critique. Right?
Okay, fucking hell. you
So,
grumpy
Manly
cunt.
win head-to-head against the Warriors. Parramatta to win head-to-head over the Chooks.
Yep.
And Newcastle at a line of plus 12.5 of the Raiders.
Jeez.
Jeez, I'm being friendly to the Raiders.
What?
I think
What's that? $1.40 or what?
$3.43.
That is some good value.
Yeah, and like they're almost guaranteed 3 ticks.
No.
Wait, so go through it again. So we're saying
Manly head to head.
Manly head to head.
Parrot to beat Roosters.
Head-to-head. And then Newcastle to not lose
I'm
by
not
over
tipping it.
12. Or for them to win.
12.5 line.
Line.
Yeah, right. I'll bet. What's paying?
$3.43.
Oh no. Yeah, I thought it was going to be paying like $14.
I think
I'll fucking
if
get on
you,
that.
if you put Roosters in there for me, that's a good multi.
Oh, I
I
just
think,
don't want to bet on that game.
You think Chooks are being Para?
I think Sammy Walker's beating Parrot.
No,
I think that's what's
not.
happening.
Nah.
No,
I'm
they're
loving.
too
I'm
clean.
loving how Sammy Walker's playing, but like, let's not hype
Mitchell
him up
Moses
too much.
will teach him a thing or two. We'll leave it at that.
Sammy Walker has got a very nice passing game.
Oh, Sammy Walker.
Yeah, the Harbour Bridge one, but
Yeah.
Moses' kicking game's too good.
Yeah, well, can Mitchy Moses kick on both feet? No, he can't.
I think everyone can kick on both feet. I don't get why everyone thinks it's so fucking hard.
No, like he put 2 try assists with his left foot and then another one with his right.
That's pretty fucking easy to grubber a ball with your
No, he
left
didn't grab
foot.
it. It was like 30 metres out. He was like 30 metres out.
And put a bomb.
No,
like,
like
a
it
chip.
was like a chip, like a low.
That's pretty stock.
Okay. We'll get into it. The NRL rundown. First game that happened, Raiders South. We just spoke about that, 20-34. Raiders. We touched on it before. They're going downhill a bit. What can they do to stop that?
What can they do?
What can they do?
What can they do? They just
They're just
They just-
ordinary.
yeah.
They're just ordinary, I reckon.
Is it one of those years where it's you sort of sack the top 4 and just try look for the
Nah.
future?
Nah, their big players are not playing big.
Jackie Winer's been real
Their big
quiet.
players aren't playing big.
No, Jackie.
Like they were
I've been
last
very
couple
disappointed by
seasons.
Jack.
But like their
Carly
role,
as well.
their role players aren't doing it either.
Yeah.
Like I'm just a bit iffy on it. I don't know. I don't know how good they are. I'm a bit concerned with them.
yeah.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back onto it. I think Canberra's just stale. We talked about last
Yeah.
week. They're just a bit stale at the moment.
Usually when you watch Canberra, their attack is like real, like it's on.
They're a real system-based team.
Yeah.
They're really system-based, I think. Like, everyone talks about how Wyden like plays off the cuff a bit and runs
Not
the ball,
really,
but like that is their game plan. That Wyden and Georgie Williams
Williams.
run the ball, take it to the line.
Yeah.
But they're a grind team.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a grind fest. I don't know if the rules have really suited them that well. So
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's just been such a dramatic drop off. It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Jack White and Josh Papali, like they're not
goal
playing
missing.
close to what they were last year, and like your big players, you need them to play to what they're
Yeah.
paid for.
Yeah, for sure.
They're not doing it, but
on-
Souths are impressive. I think.
On the other side coin, I think South City Benji Marshall.
Yeah.
We didn't at the beginning of the season. I don't think anyone thought that was like a really good signing, but wow, he's been fantastic, honestly.
Yeah.
He's gone above and beyond his role.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
he
for
could have
sure.
easily slotted in last week and the week before and just done his role and just laid his tackles,
Yeah.
played his lines, run his block lines and all that. But he's not. Like,
Yeah.
he's taking
He's
the game
taking-
on.
yeah.
He's going, all right, you know what? The team needs to lift, so I'm going to go out and do it myself. Like,
Yeah.
there needs to be a spark, and he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been really good.
Yeah.
And this week he'll go with Cody Walker in the half.
In
So
the
that'll be
halves, yeah.
interesting. I think that'll be
Is that confirmed that those two in that?
Confirmed
7
Reynolds
and
is
6,
not
yeah,
playing.
TLT.
Yeah, but wasn't it? I thought Cody Walker was at fullback.
No,
Alex
Johnson's gone
Johnson's
fullback.
fullback.
But
Oh, okay.
I think Marshall's been really good. And then, like, I don't know, the Rabbits' defence is still a bit worrying. They concede a lot of points,
Yeah.
but holy crap, they're scoring them as well.
I think that's when it gets to. I mean, we'll see this week how where they match up. I think they haven't really had a tough task since probably round 1 against Melbourne.
Well, they've had tough games. I don't think they've had grind fest though.
Yeah,
I think
exactly, yeah.
Melbourne's going to drag them into the dirt and go, all right, like, let's just run it at each other for 80 minutes.
Yeah.
and there's play territory. And I want to see. It would be interesting to see if South can do that.
Yeah.
I think like in the scenario like that, Benji's actually a pretty good replacement for Reynolds.
Yeah.
Benji's got a good kicking game. He's a mature player. I think he got him around the park well.
Yeah, for sure. Talking about Melbourne, go to the next game in the last round. Storm v Sharks, 40-14. I think the scoreline really represents how that game really went. It was really a game of two halves. Like
Oh yeah.
the first half, I think Sharks probably were even close to being on top. Like, did they go in the break 8-6 up?
Yeah, 8-6 up at the break.
They were playing pretty good, and Storm were just like many errors, like very un-Melbourne like, but then turned on in the second half. Harry Grant, Brendan Smith again doing the business, and talk about not doing the business. Cameron Munster's kicking. How can you be that bad from in front? Not
He's
sure
just-
what's doing there.
He's just not a good goal kicker.
Just and his reactions after.
And I don't think he has a good routine either. You watch it, and he
Yeah.
just kind of runs up and has a punt at it. Like, it's not really good enough. If you're going to put your hand up and say, I'm going to kick goals, like, work on it.
Yeah.
Like, spend hours a week working on it. Because
Yeah,
you
but-
need to be kicking at like 75 to 80%.
Yeah, I mean it's not that he's not the first choice goal kicker, obviously.
Are we
But,
saying Dow for Nukin goal kick this week?
and I think Christian Welch is going to come in after
Yeah.
he's put some
he
slander on
probably
Munster.
gave Munster a bit of a spray.
Yeah,
It was quite funny.
he's a real he doesn't. I never heard him talk before, and he's. I don't think.
I reckon he'll captain the Storm eventually. I reckon he's a leader.
Yeah.
I reckon he could be like future captain of Queensland as well. I
Christian
think
Welch.
we'll see it soon. Like
apparently-
he's a good leader.
He's a bit of a rat bag, apparently.
Not to the level that Harry Grant and Brandon Smith and Munster.
No. Oh, apparently Craig Bellamy. He's number 2 on the pest list behind Brandon Smith. So
Look, but I think you look at that team though. Like eventually, you got the big names in there, but I think there will be. I think there will be a change in the guard, and I think Welchie could captain the Storm.
that's a good tip. But Storm looking good. Remus Smith finally hit the straps. Said midweek that Bellamy gave him a big old spray at halftime. That sort of gave it to him, and he's enjoying his footy down there. I think when Xavier Coates comes in, I think that right and left wing is going to be fantastic. Remus Smith on one end and Xavier Coates on another end. Like, they're just good at recruitment, Melbourne.
Shout out to the young Dean Laramia, 4th Victorian to play.
Lamar.
Yep, 4th Victorian. I don't know how you say it. 4th Vicky to play for the Storm. Well done him.
Yep.
Nice little debut. Gets the win as well.
Yep.
Would have enjoyed it in the
Apologies for the dyslexic bloke here. He sometimes can read I's as L's.
That
Laramia.
is a big Richard.
Laramia.
calling out dyslexia.
Yeah, you call me out being dyslexic.
But Sharks, I don't know, whether they're sort of in a bit of a lull period after John Morris is gone. I think, I don't know where they go from there. It's just sort of a season where they're just going through the motions.
just gotta
Really.
get
To be fair, that's
Yeah.
the job of a good filling coach. You can't do your job too well. You gotta just keep the losses going. So, so you can get the new head coach in.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where Sharks go from here, but South versus Melbourne. That'll be a good game tonight. Broncos Titans next game round. Probably one of the better games all season.
None of us tipped it.
None of us tipped it.
Not even remotely close to it.
Up 16 minutes in, it was Titans by 70.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened there. A bit of a momentum with that sin bin, and then just Broncos and Asako.
I love Asako.
Yeah, he's very good.
I wanted Asako to sign for the Tigers. When I heard that rumour that Asako may go to the Tigers through the Kiwi connection, I was so excited.
Would you rather Laurie or Asako?
I think Laurie I think they're different.
Yeah.
But I really rate Asako. There's just something about how he plays that I really like. Obviously, he worked on his defence.
Yeah, his defensive
And positioning was
But-
very
Is he
ordinary.
trying to do that and go, I'm just going to make this game entertaining. So I'm just defend my shit
Well,
out.
I highly doubt
Read the
that.
stats, two tries, 2 try assists, 9 tackle breaks, 2 line break assists, 2 line breaks.
Yeah.
He single-handedly won the game almost.
Yeah.
He fixed that match. He was going.
He scored
"Make
20
shit,
and he kicked 6
make
from
it
7.
entertaining."
Yeah.
He had a blinder.
Yeah. Big shout out to Tyson Gamble on debut. He bought.
Not that.
No, second.
Oh, sorry,
game.
second. Like,
Not-
you know what I
On
mean?
debut for the club as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
He played for the Tigers.
It wasn't on
Oh.
debut for the club either.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. I mean, he's new. Like,
Yeah,
that's a new.
It's like his 4th NRL game.
Yeah. he wasn't like a great like halfback, but he brought a lot of energy and a bit of passion, which is good to see. Like I enjoyed seeing that from the Broncos for a bit.
Playing for his career because he's fucking trash.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the game I watched him play, his debut, he played the Sharks when Luke Brooks was ruled out late, and we were like a sure thing to beat the Sharks, and we fucking lost. And Gamble did fuck all.
He's not a real halfback build either. Like what,
He's very tall.
6'3", 1'8". Yeah, I don't know.
You don't mind that. That's like similar to Jack White, and Jack White's pretty stocky halfback. Or stocky half.
Yeah, but like, yeah, no, I just don't rate him. Anyway, yeah, Broncos. Do you think they can keep this form going, or is it just a one-off?
I still rate their pack. I think their pack's bloody good.
Payne
TPJ,
yeah.
Ricky, Carrigan, Lodge, Flegler, Bellymore, and Kennedy on the bench. Asiata didn't play. Like, they have a good pack.
Yeah.
It's just the halves and the spine, really.
Yeah.
I don't rate Turpin. Turpin does not do it for me. I've still got a problem with
bringing
letting
Danny Levi like early.
Yeah,
well, you know when your club's bringing in Danny Levi, you're running pretty low on your stocks for a hooker.
Yeah.
We've seen it before.
To be fair, you
Knights, Para, Manly. None of them had good hookers when he was there.
Yeah,
let's just put it out there. And apparently rubs people the wrong way. That's the word on the street.
Danny boy.
Rubs people the wrong way.
Oh, you're chatting about hookers. You've like pretty undecided on your
Oh,
hookers.
I thought you.
I mean,
yeah,
Jake
something else
Simpkin,
with that.
under 18, captain for Queensland, young prodigy freak. I think we're pretty set, eh? And Jacob Little scored a hat-trick for the Magpies on the weekend.
Yeah.
But no, we're struggling at hooker. We're struggling. And Robbie Farah, he was ordinary, I reckon. Only played 320 games.
That's a nuffy call, Chuck.
My
That is.
point is like.
I get what you're saying.
Like,
They're not world
you want-
beaters yet.
You want and you want a set hooker.
I think Jake
Yeah.
Simpkin is
Is-
set hooker. I just
yeah.
don't think his body's ready to play 80 minutes yet.
Yeah, for sure. Talking about struggling Titans, their defense. I think we've seen it 2 weeks in a row. One try gets put on them, they're sort of just throw the toys in the cot. Just they've had enough after
It's
that.
not the resilient Titans we saw last year that
I-
surprised everyone.
I think my theory is when Tino is not in there, their defense is a lot less. He brings a lot of energy and a lot of stability in that defense. And when he's not been there, I think the defense
They're
is.
just so reliant on David Fafita. I read a stat somewhere that he made 4 carries in the first half.
4 carries in the first half.
Like, you can't pay $1 million for someone to run the ball 4 times in 40 minutes.
But
It's not even the reliant. I just think this is what we're going to see all year with the Titans. They still could make the 8, and I think on paper they probably should
make the 8.
But it's going to be an inconsistent year.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a defensively inconsistent year. When you bring in a new 13 and a new 12, and then you have Taylor coming back to play full time, there've been some switches on the edges. I think like you're kind of bound to concede a lot of points.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it. But you don't want to be losing to the Broncos when you're setting yourself for the gate.
Yeah, for sure. Like the only good thing about the Titans, like when you look at the Sharks last year when they were battling for the 8, they couldn't beat any of the top
Never
sides
beat
above
top
them.
side.
But they made
didn't
sure
lose.
to beat
They didn't lose to anyone below them.
below them. I think Titans, they have the ability to sort of beat those above, but if you're losing to, you don't want to risk those games where you're losing to lower teams like the Broncos, which is not ideal for them when they're battling for the 8 and should be making the 8. So that's where
I prefer having the ability to give better sides a run for their money, though.
Yeah.
Because if you scrape into the 8,
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do like that. Like I don't mind.
we need to get rid of their volatility.
Yeah.
But just still too reliant on
D Fafita.
David Fafita. We saw that like round 1 against the Warriors. They're like really predictable and just passing it to Fafita every time.
Yeah.
But also now they just didn't go there at all.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're just leaving out that like Kevin Proctor is still like a New Zealand rep. Like he's a good player.
Yeah.
He may be at the back of his career, but he's still a good player. Like they've got good players on the park, and they can't just be passing the ball to Fafita 5 metres out, or giving him like like being like 2 out from the wing and then just saying run it and make some space. Like there's got to be a bit more creativity in how they go about it.
Yeah, he should be the go-to person to just keep giving them. Like you should have set players without him, like for sure. Panthers Manly, I would say Yeah, my tip. This is where my tipping started to go a bit downhill.
Yeah.
Well, when you get
After
4 from 8 in a round like this, you're pretty shit.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, boys. Yeah, 28 to 16. Panthers getting the job done down at Bathurst. I would say, obviously, with Tommy back, we saw 3 weeks ago that game was what 50 to 6 or something.
No.
It was With Tommy back, it made it much more competitive. I think they look like a different team. Panthers too good. Bit poor on the try celebration, so kind of bit of head first action there from Brian Toto and Jerome Law. Not sure what's doing there.
I don't think anyone ever had a problem with try celebration.
Yeah,
It's
I
like they just prove that they're wankers even more.
Yeah.
They're all great blokes and it'd be so fun to meet them, but like
It's the Aaron Woods PTSD.
Yeah.
I don't know. When they started doing the handshakes and shit a couple of weeks ago, that put me off even
Yeah,
more.
I
I was like, that is such an
Like-
unclassy response to it.
When you're like mocking teams and stuff like that, you're a toss.
Yeah.
Then when you like get called out for it and then just go to the handshake.
Handshake, that's
Like
even
more of a
you're
toss.
more of a fucking wanker. Like
Yeah.
just own up to it being a prick one week. And be like, yeah, we went over the top. Like we shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Then don't go, oh yeah, good try. Like good try. Fuck yourself. It's such a fuck you to a team as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's not really much to comment in this game. It's just
It's just Panthers too good.
it's too good, really.
Manly aren't hype. They're not. Don't hype them up again. Please don't.
Absolutely.
They're going to win games and they're going to lose a shit ton more. They're not hypey and they're not making the.
Honestly, I'm going to make a big statement right now. Manly, they are going to make the top 4. I'm saying it right now. They're making the top 4.
No, like you take.
It's
It's
gonna
going
be-
to be.
it's gonna be-
like you trying to like.
Who's your top 4?
Penrith, Melbourne, South, and Manly.
This is clickbait. This is fucking clickbait.
No.
Oh my God.
He's putting some like. He doesn't believe it at all, but he's gone.
He's gone.
Say something controversial to
Get some views on.
Full
No,
of shit.
honestly, I believe Tommy Turbo. I reckon it's either 5th or 4th for them. Tommy Turbo's
5th or 4th.
No,
I reckon it's like 13th or 14th.
hell.
What do you mean how? They
No,
won
but-
2 games in a row after getting dicked the first 6 weeks. Like,
Yeah.
why are you hyping him up?
Because Tommy's back. He's dead set. Probably
He's
the
clearly not that good. He didn't have that good of a game.
best. Oh, he played okay. He played. Oh.
Right.
He's
It's got a try.
Yeah, he scored a try.
But he brings good energy in defence. That's what I like. about
Energy in
Tommy.
defence. I reckon he's the least energised player out there.
He makes other players energized.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah. But yeah, that was an okay game. We'll move to an even worse game. Dogs v Parramatta. 32-10 to Parramatta.
It's
Second
team up here versus team down there.
Parramatta was in second, yeah, and they still put 32 on Dogs. Dogs is just not the...
Dogs are just a fucking basket case in Para. Like, Para's a top 4 team.
I thought Para were fucking didn't play that well.
They did. They were in second,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
look at that scoreline. Look, they win, and they win convincingly. But like, Para never got out of third gear.
honestly.
Like, if they wanted to, they could have put 60 on them.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a good top 4 team could. They just, I don't know if the mentality for Para's there.
Yeah, but like, I mean, when you're playing
know.
I feel like any top 4 team playing the Dogs, they're just going like,
Training run.
yeah, this is dead set training, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but that's a shit attitude. That's not going to win you a premiership.
I
When we
wouldn't.
put 40 on the Chooks, then it's like.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I don't think
talking
so.
it well up.
Credentials are tested this week for Parramatta.
Yeah. Gutho, Origin case. Right?
Gutho's put in. He
he's
is.
not Origin.
Look, I don't like him at Origin, but he's put in. Like, I put it in there because I think he is. He's playing well, and it's hard to like. It's hard to not include him because
Yeah,
he's playing so well. It's not like Jack White,
he's-
and he's kind of like.
He's like disadvantage is he's like
He's not a
good
game-
at everything.
Yeah,
but not great.
Granted, he's not a real game breaker. The problem
Jack
is,
of all
just
trades,
really
master of
solid.
none.
I mean, and
Yeah.
also
He's got to be solid.
fair few good people in front of him. I mean, Tedesco's going to.
he's not in the case for fullback, but he's in. I think he's in the argument to just be in the team.
Yeah, but the problem is,
Would
when
you
go
would
to-
you back the team enough to put 2 utilities on the interchange?
Yeah, but if you could go 2 utilities and then you got to have 2 good, two good front rowers in there.
And you couldn't go Pap and Gutho. as
No.
your
Why
two
not?
utilities, 'cause
Good.
they're too
Yeah, actually-
similar.
They are. I reckon they are.
I think it's a viable possibility
Yeah.
that they could put 2 utilities on. I don't think it would win you a game though, unless it would depend who you put in there. You'd have to get your rotations with your forwards really right, and your
So
forwards
you're
would
saying it is
all.
viable, but then it loses your game.
I'm saying it's viable,
It is
and it
viable.
could win. It could make or break a game realistically.
I think Pappenhausen set up.
Next
We're the
game,
journalists.
post. Well, we're getting close to Origin, so we can put our teams in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think next week.
But looking at it, Knights Roosters 40-38. I was hoping the Knights would be a bit more competitive.
Yeah, they're just, I don't know, especially at home, dishing up that performance. That's real disappointing.
It was
But,
just shit.
I can't
Bit-
wait for the Sam Walker hype just to go.
Sam Walker hype. He's
Sam,
he's
I
under
understand.
He's underhyped.
He's underhyped.
He's underhyped.
Watch
he's
him
not.
match up against a good half.
Who's he
in the
played
Chile.
against? Yeah, like I'm.
Like he played the Storm and did zip. Like I know they had no ball and therefore
Yeah,
not going to go for it,
I mean,
but real
yeah.
quiet and he's going to be real quiet.
I mean, we've all
So,
seen it.
Friday
Like,
night.
there's been some massive calls on halves in recent years, and I don't really think any of them have paid off. Like calling Luke Brooks the next Joey Johns, and calling Moses was called the same, mate. Moses was called the
No, you
same.
called him the next.
No.
That's you, mate.
Nah, no.
Brad Fittler made the call. You fucking idiot! His debut at the SCG
Oh no, your call is he'll bring you a premiership, which is
in the next 5 years.
Still back in that call?
Yeah, still back that call. Man,
Oh,
Tigers are
God.
good.
Oh god, okay.
Okay, but
Alright.
no,
Anyway, but sad
Knights
point-
continually beat.
Yeah, sad point
shit.
from that match though. Morris ACL.
Yeah.
That's in the dressing room.
It's-
so sad.
Oh, it
That
was fucked.
it's like
Watching
someone
it, and
died.
he's just fucking like bawling his
It's
eyes
like-
out. His
yeah.
brother's hugging him, and like no one's speaking.
Yeah,
and
that-
it's so like that's such a shit way to end your career.
Yeah.
and Lindsay's also massive out.
Yeah, Lindsay.
Someone did bring it up. It's a bit weird. Like you don't
So many ACLs.
don't like to discuss it because it's one of those injuries where it's hard to prepare your body for, but it is preventable to a degree.
Why
You
are
can-
so many chookies doing it? Like, honestly.
Well, that's the question that was
Yeah.
raised. Like, are they not like
You can do exercise.
doing the right conditioning? Yeah, you can strengthen like the muscles and ligaments around your leg. Like you can't do anything to like make sure your ACL doesn't snap. But,
Yeah.
like you can protect your knee better.
I don't know.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Four in 2 years.
Yeah. And we're not even halfway. It's like
It's
four in
round
about a
There's been a lot of injuries at the Chalks.
Yeah, it's
Surely there's some eyebrows raised.
Yeah.
Well, side note, Boyd Cordner has locked himself in for that round
Round
14.
yeah.
Come back. No way, Boyd. You're fucking done. Just please leave the
Yeah,
game.
like it's one of those players now where he should have retired by now. Like
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
He's
Everyone
got-
else is retiring with
he's got
concussions.
nothing to prove to anyone. Like I don't know why he's trying to do it.
He's done it all.
Yeah, mate. I
Yeah.
don't know why. He's,
Not that he's done it very well, but he's done
he's
it
done it
somehow.
all. Like, yeah.
The least valued second row I've ever seen in my
yeah.
life.
I actually don't rate him, but anyway.
Good career to him. He'll see if he comes back around 14 because I wouldn't change the second rows. Satilli and Angus have been fucking good.
Very good. Next game, Warriors v Cowboys.
Talk about a game of two
Two
halves.
halves,
Fucking
jeez.
hell.
Warriors turned up in that first half, and then Cowboys came back. I'm not a big fan of Reece Walsh, honestly. Like
I'm a fan.
I'm a
he
fan.
makes so many errors. Like
Wait, no, just side note. Give me a dose. Does Junie know anything about NRL?
I'm not. I watched that game. He makes that many errors. Like
Yeah, he's also second game ever.
yeah, but like I feel like if you're going into a game, especially
He was pretty
like-
good, mate.
yeah, he was good, but I'm like. He's no Sam Walker, is what I'm saying. Like, Sam Walker has been making like mistakes. Like, he made like 4 errors in like the space of 10 minutes in that second half. Like, that could easily lose you a game.
He's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, he's good, but
Yeah,
I'm saying
he's
like,
great.
like
He's
when he
fine.
has the ball and what he's doing with the ball is good. It's just you just need a
I think Warriors in pretty good hands with CHT,
oh for sure in the future.
Nicarima
Yeah,
and
it's good.
Walsh.
Bit like Roger Tuivasa-Sheck
Is a huge, it's irreplaceable. But like, I think like, fuck, I'm saying like a lot, but I think that they're in a good place if they can get a good hooker in.
Yeah.
It's like Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith went to the Warriors. That spine's actually pretty strong. I rate
Yeah,
it.
it's good spine. Yeah, but interesting for where they go in the next. They've got a few 50-50 games coming up, but last game, okay, we'll get going.
I
Tigers.
think one of the Warriors or Cowboys, they're going to make that 8th place.
Not the Cows.
Jesus Christ!
I don't think the Cows. I think the Cows are on a bit of a hot streak just because they've finally found some passion in the
Because they played
groove.
some fucking useless sides like West.
Chuck, go fuck yourself.
Nah.
I just don't think the Cows have got. I think Warriors could be. I think Warriors could. I think I'd like to see that. I'd like to see RTS getting final series. And
Yeah.
just somewhat of a send off for him because he deserves it. He's a champion player.
Yeah, for sure. Last game of the round.
Surely you guys watched this. This was a fucking good game.
Yeah, it was a good game. I
Oh,
did
yeah.
watch it.
Yeah, it was a fucking cracking game.
Dan Laurie's
On a side note, Tigers beating the Dragons 16-8. On a side note, how many mates does old mate have? He filled out a bloody grandstand.
No, third of the grandstand was all his mates. It's from like a small, like West Country sort of town.
Yeah.
That's where he played his juniors for Penrith, and I think he's further out west than Penrith. He's from like a small town.
Yeah.
Played a pretty good debut. Could have had a double.
Try and debut, yeah.
People saying the Dragons played bad.
They did.
I don't know what game everyone else was watching. I thought the Dragons played very, like, the intensity they played with at the start of both halves was insane.
I think Dragons are just shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
they had a good start.
I think they've been hit with injuries pretty bad.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
it's a bit. Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. Like,
I think
a bit of injuries,
if the Tigers weren't switched on, they would have got rolled. Dragons were rolling up the field. I think we were getting dominated early both halves in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, they were going, like, they looked like they were switched on, and I was like, oh, fuck.
But then they sort of just tapered off a little bit.
Well, the Tigers just bounced back.
Yeah.
yeah.
The Tigers played really well. I thought, like, God, you guys got to join the Tigers page and see everyone ripping the Luke Brooks. Does nothing wrong, and everyone's like, it's fucking shit. It's fucking no nothing. Like, what do you want? These guys are going to score 3 tries a week and put 3 try assists in.
Strangy, are you commenting? Are you fighting his case on the fan page?
Yes, because everyone's fucking nupties, mate. Like, they're all a bunch of dipshits. And everyone thinks Dewey's like the fucking god. Dewey had a good second half. Brooks had a good first half. And they played well. The Tigers, I think if the Tigers can put in performances like they did against Souths and the Dragons, and they're still in the top 8 conversation, they should have beat Souths. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. The Tigers are going to have an easy middle run. Like, that's just a matter of fact, because they had such a hard start to the season, they're going to have an easy run through the middle. So I would expect to see the Tigers like be even on wins and losses in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, we'll see that. Too far tipped them this week. As we go into the tips this week, South Melbourne, what's your tip? Melbourne scoreline, like points. How many? By how many?
Specifically, I'll go 12.
Okay.
I'm thinking Melbourne in a thriller, like a last 10 minutes games won.
I reckon it will go down to the wire. And how many points is that for you?
4.
Melbourne by 4. I'm going to go Melbourne by 16.
All right, we got our own residential nupty here as well. Join the Tigers pages, mate.
You got to back your own team. Penrith Sharks. Penrith by, I'm going to say like 20.
Penrith 12 plus.
Penrith win by 4 tries.
Yep. Okay. Para Roosters at Bankwest. I'm going to go Roosters by 8.
Para 1 to 12.
Para. I reckon Roosters going to dominate and lose.
No way.
I just get the feeling that Para's just
No,
going to... No, just hear me out. I think Para's going to be too classy, but I think the Roosters... Like, I get the feeling that the Roosters forward pack may roll up the field a bit and give them good field position, but Para's just in a bit too good form at the moment to lose.
Look, I like how you're trying to go with pods to try and make up for your 4 from 8.
No.
But it's a little bit awkward if it's like a 3 from 8 this week.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4 from 8, 3 from 8. Yeah.
I'm going Para. Yeah.
Para.
I'm backing my tips hard this week. Nice and easy.
3 for us.
Canberra v Knights. This is a real danger game.
Well, it's a
Honestly.
danger game for both teams.
Yeah.
Both teams need a fucking win.
Canberra looked a lot better than Newcastle though. I'll say
Yeah.
Canberra 1 to 12, maybe like 8.
I'm actually going to lose by like 50 in this team.
6 to 8.
I've got Knights by 6 and a bounce back.
See, I'm almost right on that. 'Cause I think Knights will bounce back, but I think Canberra's going to be too strong at GIO.
Canberra weren't bad last week.
Canberra haven't been dismal.
Without
They'll beat
Williams as well.
bottom 8 teams. That's just a fact, I think.
All right, I've gone two from 4 this week. Tigers v Gold Coast.
Okay, Ash Taylor's out. It's at Campbelltown. Tommy Rododicus, another Tommy.
Wearing that jersey.
Tommy Rododicus
Tribute.
memorial game, tribute game.
Well, that's going to change the result.
Oh, we'll get thumped by 40 again. No, I I think it's a danger game for both teams.
Yeah.
Gold Coast needs it. Like, if they want to cement themselves as, like, they know they're ready for the 8, then they'll win.
Yeah.
But I think the Tigers will get up.
I'm saying Gold Coast by
I reckon...
6 to 8 points.
I think Tigers win by 14.
I've gone Tigers by 6.
Tigers by 14.
I'm actually going to have the worst week or the best week, either or.
Gold Coast by 6 to 8.
Cows v Broncos. I've gone Broncos by 10 in this. I think they're going to put in a good shift.
I think Cows win.
My God, I'm actually going to lose by a mile.
I think Cows win at home.
I promise you, I'm actually not that big of a nuppy.
I think the Cows played a really good second half against the Warriors, and if they can do that again, then they'll be too good for Broncos. Broncos are just too inconsistent. Like, they're inconsistent within games. So, like, week to week, they just play in such big patches, and I don't think Tyson Gamble and Milf
I can easily
is a good
see
halves pairing.
Broncos winning, but if I
Yeah.
had to put, like...
If I had to put money on it, I'd be backing the Cows.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cows just.
Okay.
1 to 10.
Manly v Warriors. I got Manly by 20.
I got Manly 12 plus. Actually,
Manly 8 to 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manly 8 to 16.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
I haven't backed an away team yet.
I backed that. Yeah, wait. Dragons v Dogs.
Archon's going, doggies going to count.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Dragons, but not as far out as people are gonna think. I think it'd be a lot closer.
I hope Dogs win, but...
I think the Dogs could put in a good showing, and I think it's a bit of a danger game for the Dragons because they've got so many injuries.
Yep.
They've got a Gallo playing his second game on the wing. They got Tyrell Fuamona playing left centre.
Yep.
And then they've got Josh Kerr at right edge, which was just exposed by the Tigers. Like, they didn't take full advantage of it, but
It was
they
exposed.
ran Josh around in rings.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hopefully, I actually makes up some wins in this tipping comp because I'm actually, if I go bad this week, I'm out. I'm already out after 2 weeks. So yeah. Well done to Strong. I'm going to say well done to Benny. Last
7
podcast.
out of 8.
7 out of 8 and very good
What was the
score
game
lines.
wrong?
Titans, Broncos.
Titans, Broncos.
Very good for me.
Could have been a perfect week as well.
Yeah.
As if that's the game that gets me. Surely it would have been another game.
Yeah. Going into the AFL. Chucker, your time to shine.
My time to shine.
First game of the round, the review. Are you going to
Oh,
read?
Richmond
Richmond Dogs. 37-55.
Any thoughts on the game, Chuck?
Richmond, they bounced back against the former ladder leaders.
Richmond with huge outs.
Yeah.
Several key players not playing, and the Dogs were playing well. Who thought Richmond would have turned it around this week? So it was a bit surprising.
Did not see that coming.
No, but it shows they're still in the conversation, I guess.
Yeah. Dogs, have they shown their hand that they're not a top 4 team, or they still are?
The Dogs are a top 4 team. They just get I think the problem is the way they play.
Yeah.
And they're going to get exposed the way they play because they're the only team in the comp at the moment that's playing like high possession, handball, break the line.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
They're going to get exposed in some games, but no team's going to go undefeated this year. The comp's way too close for that.
Yeah, it's real close up the top, which is good to see. It's usually you sort of know Richmond and a few like Port.
All right, Nuffy, just settle down over there. Richmond and Port. Port have been good for 2 years, mate.
Like in the last.
Give me a dose.
I said in the last 2 years. Anyway, Collingwood versus Gold Coast, 55-79 loss for the Pies. Nathan Buckley. There's rumours that he's gonna.
He said he wants to coach on.
Yeah.
So there's big question marks. Like, Collingwood don't have a draft hand this year, and they've got Dacos coming in as a father-son who got 40 touches in the VFL 2 weeks ago, supposedly better than his brother Josh. He's already playing and they think could be an elite midfielder.
Yeah.
But, De Goey has been so bad. Key players have been bad. Don't rate Darcy Moore playing forward. He's not a forward now. He's shown himself to be one of the best one-on-one defenders in the comp. So I'm just be concerned. Collingwood need to kind of get a vision and a structure for the next 4 years going because they're in a rebuild.
Yeah,
so
in saying that, I heard somewhere like that they obviously don't have the greatest of rosters, but like, did they not give away some good players like.
Yeah, they traded Phillips, they traded Treloar,
Yeah.
and they traded Stevenson.
Like what? Why?
Tom Phillips, they don't have a wingman, like
Yeah.
two set wingmen. Tom Phillips was a great wingman. Adam Treloar's revolutionised the way he plays. He's been way more effective and way better going forward at the Dogs.
Yeah.
And Jaden Stevenson, he's been a bit inconsistent, but he's had a couple huge games for North.
Yeah, for sure.
And they need they are crying out for small
forward,
forwards, like for any forward really, Collingwood. Yeah. So it's just, I don't get the decisions.
Yeah.
I'm extremely confused. I thought those three players were three of their best players and they let go. So it's a bit weird.
Chucky, you wanted to add something on that?
No, I was just pretending I was going to. And I was like, what am I saying?
Next game, what was the next game?
Adelaide GWS 39-106. GWS thumped
Yeah.
Adelaide.
Sort of.
Yeah, they're back.
A few
I
weeks
don't
ago,
know if they're back.
Yeah,
They're not back. They're not going to make
a few
the
weeks
eight.
ago, you wouldn't have thought that scoreline was going to.
No, you would have thought that it would have been Adelaide right at GWS
Yeah.
with the way Adelaide were playing, but they just didn't turn up.
for GWS?
Yes.
Yes. Well done.
Collingwood, Sydney,
back.
Adelaide.
Yeah.
So look, yeah, take what you want out of it. I don't think GWS are in the conversation for the 8, and I think Adelaide are young and inconsistent. Like both teams are trying new things. It's not going to work every week. So we just saw this week.
Yeah.
GWS got home with the dub.
Yeah. Chuck, next game.
St Kilda Hawks.
Scoreline.
It was a pumping.
It was a pumping. It was a
What?
domination. It was like
Yeah, it was
80.
good.
It was
Yeah.
80-20 at one point.
Yeah.
And the Saints played really well. Brad Hill had a blinder. Their forwards played smart. They played very smart going inside 50, lowered their
Yeah.
eyes, and they worked hard defensively. Well, they didn't work hard defensively, but like they worked hard forward of the ball, and that's what got them the dub. Forward half pressure, I think, instead of even having to work back.
Yeah.
So yeah, is Chuck, you leaving us now?
Yeah, it's been great. But
Oh, sure, you can. We'll knock out the last 4 games real quick.
real quick.
Real quick.
Well,
All right.
Brisbane v Port. Brisbane, they're
Brisbane.
back. They're back.
Brisbane playing well. Port had their worst game of the season
Yeah.
convincingly, and
are they
Brisbane.
still in the
Yeah,
conversation?
They're in the 4 conversation, but it's a bit worrying that you lose like that to another team that's in the top
Yeah.
4. But Brisbane, some of their players really stood up, had best games of their careers. So credit to them, where credit's due.
Yep.
Sydney Geelong,
That was
90-88,
Game of the round.
cracker of a game.
Were you out there, Sean?
No, I wish I
No.
was. I was.
Sean, that's
You
disappointing
know,
from you.
yeah, it was disappointing, mate. I was very butthurt I wasn't there. But Sydney playing really well. Ollie Florent, James Robon took the game, scruffed the neck,
Yeah.
and I think Ollie had 11 touches and a goal in the last quarter, and had just put on an absolute clinic.
Yeah.
And everything, all the stats would have shown that Geelong should have won the game.
Yeah. They dominated
Sydney
pretty much
won.
every state. Yeah.
So it's a bit of a character building game for Sydney,
Yeah.
and it's a huge win. Geelong, being Geelong in Sydney,
That's big.
take it every day of the week.
North, an improved performance from North Melbourne versus the D's, but still going down 72-103. Anything to add on that?
Anything to add on that? North looked good in the first half. There's improvement there, so you got to take the wins
the-
when you get
yeah.
them. They're small wins, but they're playing a bit more consistent.
Yeah.
I think they're now winning. They're now up in 33% of the games in the last 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and in the first 4 rounds or 3 rounds, they were only up in the game for games for 3% of them. So
Yeah,
they were
right.
losing in
The whole
games for
match, yeah.
97% of them. So maybe they took the lead in the first minute.
Yeah. Essendon versus Blues, didn't watch this match. Was it a good match?
Yeah, it was a good game.
Good game.
Good game. Blue, it kind of just shows that the Blues may be one step ahead of Essendon.
Yeah.
Essendon have been pretty running hot the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Surprising everyone. And I think the Blues, it just kind of showed that the Blues are maybe just one step ahead of them in terms of making the 8 and finishing their rebuild, which has been going on for fucking 10 years.
Yeah. And last game around on the Western Australian derby.
Good bounce back by Freo.
Yeah.
By West Coast, I mean,
West- yeah.
sorry. Freo did put a
Solid.
solid performance in the third quarter, halfway through the third quarter. Then West Coast just came out on top.
Too far, yeah.
West Coast have lost one game in the last 3 years where they've
Adam.
won the contested possession count.
Jeez.
So it's kind of crazy.
That is-
And the reason West Coast have been so efficient inside forward 50, which we talked about the last couple of weeks, is that their three key forwards, Darling, Kennedy, and Oscar Allen, aren't going outside the first 70 metres of the
right.
ground. So they're just having a constant break, but when the ball comes in, as soon as it does, they're ready to go. They're so switched on. They've got the energy, and they've been doing really well.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna rattle off your. We'll go with just strong tips. We'll just rattle them off. Richmond v Geelong,
Richmond,
GWS v Essendon,
GWS,
Gold Coast v Saints,
Saints,
Norths v Collingwood.
Collingwood,
Collingwood.
Yeah, nice joke. Demons v Sydney.
Demons.
Demons,
Oh, not back in your own team.
C strong.
Adelaide Derby.
Port convincingly,
Oh, Hawks v West Coast.
West Coast,
Dogs v Boys.
Dogs.
Play, Dogs, sorry,
Dogs, yeah. And Brizzy v Freo.
Brisbane.
Ooh.
Too easy.
Well done, Charlie. Good effort from you there. Again, good wrap up.
Yeah, I'm
Chuck
gonna have
is
to-
gone. Chuck is gone. Go
Chuck's
on.
gone. See you, Chucky.
I am
See you,
wrapping
Chucker.
up.
And we are wrapping up. That's out.